Surelock McGill traces its roots back to West London as a small subcontractor at the start of the 60s. Working out of an industrial estate in Chiswick, in our early days, William McGill and his team at McGill Engineering manufactured everything, from steel gates to stiletto heels, and typewriter parts to table legs. At times, we even made globes of the world. By the mid-1980s, it became clear that our future was in the security sector, and in 1986, Surelock McGill was born. As demand grew and legislation developed for greater protection of buildings, assets and people, so did the need for more advanced, comprehensive solutions. Whether it was physical security, life safety, or protection from blast or ballistic attack, Surelock McGill continued to rise to the challenge. Over the next 3 decades, Surelock McGill evolved into the Surelock McGill Group, a family of companies leading the way at the forefront of physical security development, both in the British and international markets. Stafford Bridge, market leaders in the design, manufacture and installation of high-performance timber and composite door sets, as well as walls and windows. Myco by Tyndall Engineering, a range of extensively tested and internationally accredited locking systems against physical attack, ballistic attack, and for fire performance. And of course, Surelock McGill itself. Surelock continues to be at the forefront of physical security, designing, developing, testing and manufacturing all of their products from their headquarters in Southeast England. In 2014, we expanded into North America as Surelock McGill LLC, helping us become a truly international company. Since our inception as McGill Engineering in 1961, we've seen the world change, and we've changed with it. From humble beginnings as a small subcontractor in London in the 1960s, the Surelock McGill Group has gained an international reputation as one of the leading designers and manufacturers of security solutions. We work with customers across a huge range of sectors, including healthcare, petrochems, and national security. And as of 2021, the Surelock McGill Group employs over 200 members of staff across 8 companies, 5 factories, and has secured over 50 countries. As the dust settled across Europe in the wake of the Second World War, the 50s and 60s saw Britain undertake a cultural revolution, but new threats were emerging both at home and abroad. During the 1970s, political instability in the Middle East led to a rejuvenation in the search for oil and gas in Europe. In 1988, the world watched in horror as the Piper Alpha oil platform exploded in the North Sea, tragically killing 167 engineers on board. The 90s saw a marked increase in both domestic and international terrorism. The London Israeli embassy bombings of 1994 and the Oklahoma City bombing of 1995, just 2 of the major incidents involving improvised explosives. The 2000s saw a digital revolution. Mobile phones and smartwatches rapidly moved from the realm of sci-fi to reality. High-speed internet and wireless communication became the norm. As the demand for rare metals increased, so did the measures criminals would go to in order to acquire them, making communication infrastructure an ever more common target for attack. Amidst all of this, the effects of human-driven climate change have become ever more prevalent. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods have become almost 5 times more frequent. But for every setback, engineers and scientists around the world have worked together to overcome the challenge. There are now resistance standards for blast and ballistic, hurricane, tornado and flood, fire delay and life safety. And through our continuous investment in research, development, and the latest manufacturing techniques, the Surelock McGill Group continues to meet and surpass the required standards, both at home and internationally. But there's one set of standards that impacts all of our lives, every single day. Whether it's making sure that our front door is securely closed when we head to work in the morning, our national infrastructure is protected to keep the lights on, or keeping our elected officials safe through times of political unrest, physical security plays a vital role in keeping society moving. When it comes to physical security, There are several international standards, FEBR and EN1627 to name but a few, but the focus for today is LPS 1175. LPS 1175 was one of the earliest standards to consider a whole range of classification levels, from domestic through to extreme security. The security rating itself is granted as a combination of the toolkit used to attack the door and the amount of time the door resists the attack for. Tools used range from day-to-day, easy-to-conceal manual tools, all the way through to heavy-duty equipment such as petrol-powered, concrete-cutting disc grinders, and higher security levels even allow for multiple attackers working together. Most importantly, LPS 1175 is a complete door set test, putting the frame, leaf, and hardware through their paces. On almost any door set with key access, the cylinder is by far and away the most exposed element of the system, making cylinder guards a vital component of any high security solution. As we can see here, the exposed cylinder on the left has been compromised in a matter of seconds with simple, everyday tools, whilst the LPS certified cylinder guard resists heavy sledgehammer attack, drill attack, and even sustained attacks with a petrol-powered disc cutter. Hinges are another obvious target. Most perimeter doors will be outward opening in order to comply with life safety regulations, and on an outward opening door, the hinges will almost exclusively be on the attack face of the door set. Here we can see a two-man team attempting to shear the hinges by simultaneously using both an axe and a sledgehammer. Leverage attacks are a highly effective attack method, especially for lower security ratings where power tools aren't available. Steel wedges, crowbars and hammers can all be used to progressively force the door open, and lengths of tube can be used to create even more leverage. If the door can be pried open enough, the attacker can even target the now exposed locking system. At first glance, vision panels might appear to be an obvious weak point in a door set, but if specified properly, can in fact be highly attack resistant. Attackers will attempt to force their way through the glazing, or simply pry the panel out of the door. Under certain building regulations, they are also required as a life safety feature, allowing both SKPs and first responders to assess the risk on the other side of the door. Louvers are often overlooked, but for locations which require airflow or temperature control, these are essential. Here we can see a Surelock McGill louver, withstanding both leverage and cutting attacks. Finally, attacks directly to the leaf might seem like a crude method, but there's no doubt they can be effective, especially if the door in question hasn't been appropriately designed. But there's no benefit to having a well-secured door if the wall around it is weak. Thankfully, the LPS 1175 test can also be performed on walling solutions. Each area will be attacked for the designated test time, and the clock only counts down when the door is being attacked, giving the attackers time to assess their progress and adjust their methods accordingly. LPCB work with manufacturers to help identify potential weaknesses with their products prior to testing, but fixing the weakness is down to the manufacturer. Our close collaboration with LPCB and the rigorous testing procedure of the LPS 1175 itself are just two of the many reasons we choose to work to this exceptional standard. But at the Surelock McGill Group, we understand that security is only one part of a bigger picture. Functionality is key, and as well as designing in panic and emergency exit where appropriate, we offer fully automated door and locking operation and a range of locking options, such as access control, code locking, and combination locking. On top of this, we create products for life. We test our products to over 1 million cycles and use high quality materials such as 316 stainless steel. We relentlessly pursue third-party accreditation, not just against a range of threats, but also for quality assurance, and we are proud to be an ISO 9001 accredited company. We collaborate closely with our customers, working together with them in order to create the highest quality products available. And finally, the Surelock McGill Group seeks to empower both our staff and our customers through a program of internal and external training. You can sign up to one of our upcoming webinars via our group website, where we cover subjects such as ballistic resistance, the conflict of life safety and security, and blast resistance.